Tracy's father.
Oh, I'm Mom, Linda Libey.
And I'm Tracy Snyder.
My grandfather was believed one of the charter members of the Oakland Motorcycle Club back in the early 1900s. And then my father was rode a Servy car for F.H. Daly delivering parts, and met my grandfather and was also a motorcycle rider, and so then he was a member of the motorcycle club. And then I met Mark back in the early or mid-60s, who was a member of the motorcycle club, and we got married, and then Tracy came along, and here she is today.
I remember when I was really young, all the bikes had to be kick-started, and Dad said, if you start it, you can ride it. And at a very young age, I surprised everybody and kick-started a bike, but he wouldn't let me ride it.
But you did get to ride it.
My first bike was a little Honda 50, and we were up at a friend's ranch, and Dad taught us to use the foot brake and the accelerator, not to touch the handbrake. It was me and my twin sister and a friend of ours, and we got to do laps around the ranch. And that was really exciting until my sister used the handbrake and rode right into the berry bushes.
And then I worked for her father-in-law, her father, after that. And
Who owned a Harley shop.
Which he had the Harley shop, and then it turned into a Kawasaki shop, and for 10 years we had a Kawasaki shop together. But getting back to Tracy, when she'd ride behind me riding a motorcycle, and she always wanted to go faster. And I remember one time when we were sort of racing with another fella down the road, and she was right there. Go faster, go faster, go faster. That was always Tracy, to go faster.
She always had her motorcycles, and she had a Bug, one of those Volkswagen Bugs or something, and I wanted her to have a real car. And she finally called me up one day, and she says, Mom, I bought a BMW. And I'm like so relieved. I said, oh, thank goodness. I said, and something about the car that she bought. And she says, oh no, it's a motorcycle. And I was like, oh no, it's just another motorcycle. She still doesn't have a car.
You know, I did a little bit of competition in the dirt, trying, to get my feet wet with some enduros. Never did great, had lots of fun. I went to my dad and I told him, I said, you know what, I'm thinking about going to Bonneville. And he says, I've heard that. And he says, I think you should do it. So I've got an idea, I've got leathers, I've got my father's blessing. I know Mom's not going to give me her blessing, but she's going to come along for the ride. And so I just started putting this together, and I really thought that I was just going to push my bike up on my truck and come here, and one thing led to another, and I started like taking my bike apart and chopping things off, and doing all these things that I never thought I would do. I mean, I really had no idea that my bike would no longer be a street bike, that it was now solely a Bonneville salt flat bike, and this is what's happened.
She had to go out and buy another Hayabusa to ride on the street.
In 2008, I ran MAG, the 1350 class, which is modified aspirated gas, which means I get no plastics on the bike. I use their gasoline, and I'm in the 1350 class, and my bike was about a 1300 at the time. And we came up here really not knowing what to expect. I think the record, it was a 30-year-old record, and I think it was about 169. And I thought, geez, I can do that. But when you get up here, it's a completely different beast. And we spent all week long changing things, really struggling to get me to go faster. And I was too high. The way we modified my tank, we had pounded it down with a hammer, and it was still kicking me up too high, and the wind was pushing me back, and I didn't have something for my back to push up against, so we had to create something behind me so I could get down low and not fly off the back. It was really a week-long struggle, and the very last day, well, actually the second to the last day, I made a pass and I came very close to breaking the record. And so we parked the bike, and I just knew that I would be able to do it the following day. And we came out, I was the first one on the tracks that morning, and I qualified to break the record, and I did a reverse run. I even did a better time, and that was the first record that I broke. And that was a national record. So in 2009, I signed up for FIM in the same class. So I was running FIM and national. And when I came in that year, I had suspension problems all week long. Up until the very last day, I did a run and I pulled out before the timed mile because everything was just shaking and nothing was working right suspension wise. So I just pulled out and I thought, okay, the week's done. And when we got back, my husband really wanted another shot to work on the suspension. And so what we did was we took the weight off the wheels, the rear swing arm, and he adjusted the suspension one last time, and I gave it one more shot, and went out there, qualified to break the national and world record, did a reverse run, and broke it. So again, very last day.
The support of the people that you're running against. When she had to pound that seat down, that tank down, she couldn't get low enough. And one of the competitors here offered to lend her his gas tank so she could get low enough to get that record. And the people at this Bonneville is just completely different than any type of competition. They're always willing to help and really show you a lot of support, and you do that for them also.
I have a personal goal of going over 200 miles an hour. If we're lucky enough to break a record, so be it. I think my dear friend Don Mills holds the record. I think it's 202 something for the national record. And that's the record I'm going after.
Getting back to helping is Don Mills, the record that he has, she would like to break that record. And he's over here helping us break that record. And he's still out there trying to break his own record, but he's over here also helping us. And that's the way it is up here at the Salt Flats.
Place is magical. I mean, it's you can't go out, you can't come out here and not find magic. It's the beauty. There's nothing like it. But the best thing about it is how great the people are. I mean, I came out here and fell in love with the people.
just about the time I think I've had my fill. Hot dang, it's time for Bonneville. From all around the world they come to race for salt. I'm a speed junkie, but it ain't my fault, 'cause you know I like things that go. I mean go, man, go. I like the speed and I dig that sound. 300 miles an hour across that salty ground. Well, now y'all know I just like to be around motorcycles. It's just my thing.